welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I also hope watching my videos can make your day just a little bit brighter. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 10 books that you should read before the end of the year. Souls in Ruin by Jacqueline White. It's a dark romantasy. Maria, who is the bastard daughter of the king, she's an outcast in her father's kingdom, and her father forces her to marry the Blood King because he wants an alliance with the Blood King, because the Blood King is known for taking over kingdoms, and he wants his kingdom to be safe. And at first she doesn't want to do it, but then her father blackmails her with the safety of her baby sister and her best friend, and they are the only two people in the kingdom that treat her with any warmth and love, so she'll do anything for them. Though she agrees to this marriage, what she doesn't know is after they get married and the wedding night happens, it switches because the Blood King was only agreeing to this marriage because he wanted revenge on her father for the stuff that he did to the Blood King. It goes from an arranged marriage to a captor-captive situation because she gets put into a dungeon at his castle, and she is held in captivity for the rest of the book until 95%, and she finds out there is another cellmate next to her on the other side of the wall, and now she's stuck between two morally gray men who both want something from her. Which one of those men are the lesser of two evils? And the Blood King tries to break her spirit, but all this time she said, I will not break, I will not break. And you have to see how she manages to get out of captivity. This book has beautiful writing. I'm in love with the heroine, Maria. Esprithean trilogy. Greenwich and Lennox. Riftborn and Dustbound. Riftborn, just okay. None of the characters stood out to me. I didn't like the love interest in Riftborn. But when you get to Dustbound, it completely shifts because not only did I grow to love the heroine, I was very lukewarm about her from book 1, but I grew to love her in book 2. Her powers grew, the world expanded, and we get to meet the real love interest in book 2. Who doesn't love a shadow daddy? And I love the audiobook. For Dustbound, I highly suggest the audiobook for book 2. It's duet narration style, and it is only one perspective from the heroine's perspective, but when you get the duet narration style, you get more from the hero since you don't know his perspective, and it was so good. Please, if you have not read the series, please read this book. I'm trying to convince my friend Tori to read the Esprithean trilogy, The Ascended, by Greenwich and Lennox. I've talked about this book multiple times on my channel since I first read it, and this is one of my favorite romances I have read all year. I love Thea and Liezl and her quest against taking revenge on the gods that destroyed her father. I love the trials in this book. The trials in this book are so unique. I implore you, before you read The Ascended, please read Riftborn and Deathbound, because you will be glad once you did when you read that last line of The Ascended. Stray. Ozzy goes to be a nurse for Jackson's dad. The Rowe family. Jackson's father is terminally ill, and Izzy goes to be a nurse for his father as a favor to her best friend, because her best friend is dating Jackson's older brother. Izzy is a human trafficker survivor. This is a dark romance. It flashes back to the time that Izzy is in captivity because she has PTSD from her situation that she was in, and she took this job and as escapism because she's still not over about what happened to her, but she didn't expect to find home in the Rowe family ranch, and she gets a romance with Jackson, the second Rowe brother. From the start, Jackson can see that Izzy has been through stuff. Of course, Izzy doesn't tell Jackson what she's been through right away. He slowly gets to know her, and she slowly trusts him, and gradually she opens up to Jackson about what she's been through. This job and getting to know Jackson's family is slowly healing Izzy, and Izzy is slowly Ozzy. I don't know why it keeps saying Izzy. Broken because of the news that they're losing their father, and it was so beautiful. I love the audiobook. The voice actors were Maxine Mitchell and Sean Masters, and they did a phenomenal job with this audiobook. Really got emotional with their performances of these characters. Unloved by Paige and Corinne, and Freddie needs a tutor because he has a 0.2 GPA. He's struggling with a lot of learning disabilities, dyscalculia, ADHD, and some other stuff. And I can't remember what the other things are, but school is a struggle for him. But he promises Mom he'll finish school before he goes into professional hockey. And Rowe is his tutor, and Rowe and Freddie, they are so tender-hearted, but they are so fragile, and they both feel like they're both unlovable. It's called Unloved. Ro is with her boyfriend because she thinks she has to be with him, but he underappreciates her. And Freddie thinks he's not good enough to be with anyone because of his learning disabilities. And through their friendship, they grow to believe that they both deserve more. They both deserve someone to love them, and they both grow together, and and they are just so beautiful together. It made me cry. Ro became Freddie's champion, and he's never had that before. Makes me so emotional. If you haven't read this hockey romance series by Pete and Corinne, please do. Unloved is the second book in her hockey romance series. The New York Monarchs by Millie Perez. It's a baseball romance series, and I'm going to recommend both books because I love both books. I gave both books 5 stars. The first book is called Strikeout. It's a baseball player, billionaire, single dad, nanny, and I just love this book. There's a jealousy scene in here where I can't forget about it, where she wears his teammate's jersey to his baseball game and he goes ballistic. And I just can't forget that scene. And his daughter is just adorable. And I just love their romance. And I love that the heroine slowly helps the hero reconnect with his Spanish roots. It was just so good. I highly recommend the audiobook for Strikeout. Fair Trade is about a marriage of convenience between the owner of the New York Monarchs and I think she's the manager of the New York Monarchs, and they have to get married for reasons. And they are just, the hero is just so gone for the heroine, but the heroine keeps trying to deny her feelings for the hero, and she only thinks that this marriage is on paper, but the heroine is the hero's dream girl, and he will do whatever it takes to assure the heroine that their marriage is actually real. All by Tal Bauer of Tori. At the beginning of the book, Tori is in the middle of, it's an romance. Tori is in the middle of contemplation. He is a hockey player, but things are not going good with his team. He's in the middle of the beach contemplating just ending it all, but he decides not to do it, so the book starts off very heavy. He gets into an accident on the ice. He gets hit on the head with a head concussion, and he wakes up a year later. But he wakes up and he finds out he's on a different team, and he's in a relationship with the captain of the new team. And that's all I can say, because this book is better if you go in blind, but I love this book by Tal Bauer. It made me cry. I've never seen the amnesia trope used this way. It was so good. King of Pain by J.P. Joseph. Chance and Anthony. Chance and Anthony work at the same record store, It's a friends-to-lover romance. They bond over their mutual love of 80s music. Just as their friendship slowly turns romantic, Anthony has to leave Chase, and Chase doesn't know why. And he comes back into Chase's life a few years later, and Anthony begs Chase for his forgiveness, and it's their second chance romance, and it was just so good. It was so emotional. It made me cry. This was one of my favorite books I read all year. The Sparrow Fall series by Catherine Cowles, following the Coulson family, and I've loved every book in the series. I've given every book in the series 5 stars. No one writes romantic suspense and found family like Catherine Cowles. If you haven't read this series yet, I highly recommend it. My favorite book in the series is the last book, Secret Haven. I just love all these books, and if you haven't read the series by Catherine Cowles yet, you should. Those are all the 10 books that I think you should read before the end of the year. Please let me know if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Liking this video would help me out a lot. And I'll see you Friday. Bye.